Welcome to the Dope Show with Dopey. I got my mother here, and you've probably seen her in the past running through my videos, and she's always like, damn it, he's smoking pot on his Dope Show, and blah, blah, blah. But today, I'm sober. I'm a year today. I have a year of sobriety under my belt, and it's all thanks to my mom, without a doubt. And we're just winging this.
Yeah.
So when I was using, it was pretty bad. It wasn't like I was 10 years in deep in it. Fucking, I had holes in my arms. That's why I got long sleeves.
Yep.
To cover up my fucking the track marks. Yeah, it was pretty vicious, man. I've done a lot of crazy things, and I realized today that I was probably like on the top 10, if not the top 5 craziest people in Clinton.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, without a doubt, man. And the shit that I did to my family, it fucking hurts really bad. And I gotta thank my mother for bringing me out here, because my life in Clinton was absolute nothing but death, chaos, and destruction. I told her all the time that I was going to commit suicide. I called her lit up, or I almost lit myself on fire one time. I poured lighter fluid all over me, and I called her up. I was like, man, I really want to light myself on fire. I'm sure that's nothing a mother wants to hear,
No.
No. And then Chronic came, and he made sure I didn't light myself on fire. Chronic is my baby brother, Jamie Triller. And I don't know, I asked you like probably a couple months. We were noticing that I'm doing really good in my recovery, and I asked you if it would be all right if I did an interview with you.
Yes.
About my sobriety.
Yep.
And shit, and about where I came from.
Right.
Like first, I was addicted to speed. I was addicted to coke, and then I went to meth, and then within a year or two, I started shooting it up. It didn't take long for me to put a needle in my arm. No, it didn't.
I was thinking about that just last night. Because I knew we were doing this interview today. And it was 10 years. Well, now it's probably 11 years ago.
Yeah.
But you started doing it, I think, right after your brother went to prison.
Prison, yep.
So, I just want to put out there as a mom that at that time, I lost both my sons because Jamie went to prison, and
I went to the needle.
You went to.
I took it hard.
You went to your own prison.
Yep, straight up.
Because that's
bondage in prison. That's another thing I was going to say too, is that my baby brother told my mom to stop sending him pictures of me.
Yeah.
Because that's how bad I was and how I looked. I was just decaying.
And I kept it from him.
Yeah.
I did. I wouldn't tell him a lot of things.
Right.
I mean, being the mother of an addict is a very lonely place to be. There are no...
Being an addict, too, with my fucking loneliness, I'm sure it brought more to your loneliness.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's that old saying, a mother's only as happy as her saddest child.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since I could say both my kids were happy. And, and starting to get comfortable now because you get gun shy because, you start doing well. You would start doing well, and then, maybe for a few months, and then, you get the rug pulled out from under you all the time. And so, but it's 1 year without meth today.
Without meth.
And
without anything in a needle.
Yep.
You even knew I was doing heroin, and I never even told you about it. I was just dabbing into it.
Yeah.
You're like, don't spend your money on meth, and also don't spend your money on heroin. I'm like, I won't. And I hung up the phone. I told Chronic, what are you doing? Telling my mom that I'm doing fucking heroin. And he's like, I didn't tell her, and you just knew.
I have some kind of sixth sense or something about my boys, and usually I don't have to be told by anybody to know when something's wrong or something is going on. Or sometimes I just know, like I just knew,
Yeah.
for the drugs.
The power of a mom's intuition.
Yep.
Fucking, and I always keep coming back to this one because it was probably right after I did this first act to where I really started becoming crazy when I went down my street and breaking in windshields. And it was so much chaos. The grandparents downstairs were trying to or calm me down. You were trying to calm me down. She gave me $5 to go to this place to get some fake bake. I went there and then I dodged her all day. I dodged you all day, and then eventually I turned myself in at the end of the night.
So is that when Joe and I brought you here?
Maybe. It's just so hard
to dry out, because like
you I think you did.
You had broken windows and
Yep.
all this and that, and we put you in the car and brought you here, and then you had been high for so many days that halfway here you started having seizures in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And we had to
stop at
find a hospital, just any random hospital in Des Moines, and go there. And you were
I was up for a long time.
Yep, like and you were having seizures because you were so dehydrated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sad.
So we sat there for like 6 hours, and they didn't want to let you out. They wanted to keep you, and I convinced them that we were on our way to Omaha, that I would get you help, when you got here. And I can't remember how long I had you
and
here.
This is a recovery. This happened a lot of times. Like more than I can count on my fingers. Like, you bring me here, let me dry up and get clean, gain a little bit of weight, and then I went back to Clinton, and I just like dabble with pot, but then sooner or later I just go right back on meth. Like, you were even letting me come over at your mansion on Clinton to get and hide away, and then we thought if I bought a house, I would get out of the trap house that I was living in. We call it the Overlook, and there was nothing but chaos every day there. Like, I had meth heads. I had 45 meth heads in there at one point.
At the Overlook.
At the Overlook. Yeah.
So we bought a house, and right when your brother got out of prison.
Right.
And he was like 3 months in the halfway house. And during those 3 months, I was getting our big house ready for sale. And I talked my husband into buying this rental house because you were on HUD and we could make it handicap accessible. And that way you could have an apartment downstairs, and HUD would pay your rent, and it would be handicap accessible. And then whenever your brother was allowed to live on his own, he could rent the upstairs. And I've made a lot of really bad decisions with really, really good intentions, of helping you and helping your brother.
And I'm looking back in the past, like, it's like, why? That sounds like the perfect atmosphere or whatever. Setup. My baby brother finally out of prison, me downstairs, and I screwed it up. I turned both apartments, the downstairs and the upstairs, to a trap. It wasn't as bad as the Overlook. That was the worst. But
first you left. You were only there for 8 months.
Yeah.
And then you went to Wisconsin.
And I went to Wisconsin to be with Shredder.
Yep. And then
that was only for a few more months.
And then, yep.
And I got into coke while I was in Wisconsin too.
And so Jamie moved downstairs into your old apartment.
Yep.
And I took the upstairs and ended up letting you come back to the upstairs apartment.
Yeah.
Then you had the upstairs apartment for a while.
I've been up.
And what happened up there?
I burned it down.
Well, before that, I
turned it into a trap.
Turned it into a trap.
Like
a house that we bought and paid for.
Yep, and it was supposed to be because I couldn't get clean because like my place was like hot center, or it was like everyone like, let's go to Dopey's, we'll get high there. Everyone knew it. Like I would leave my apartment, kick everybody out, come back, and then it fill up. Me and Shredder lost total control over that apartment building, and I've done so much damage, man. Shredder's grandparents were living downstairs beneath us the entire time. Like I mean, just hearing footsteps all day, all night. You know, I'm really glad though that what I'm trying to get to is that my mother though, before I came here, it was a year after my friend committed suicide, and I definitely had PTSD from that. And I was calling you like almost every morning, you know, like I was just walking the streets. I couldn't sleep for days. Actually, it was like 34 days. And then that's what I wanted to get to too. Like you knew I had PTSD pretty bad. Yeah. I spent 2 months with you, kind of picking up the house, and I kept you up every night. Yeah, that's what you said. I didn't sleep at all. No.
Oh,
for
upstairs
2 months
at the apartment.
Yeah, I kept you up
trying
for
to
2 months.
Trying to get it.
Trying to sell it.
Yeah, trying to repair everything and get it ready for sale, because during this time that, you know, we let Jody stay back up there, he set the house on fire.
Yeah, and I went to prison for that.
Yep.
You know.
And then,
which the devil told me to do it, in all honesty, and then I came to my fucking senses, like, oh shit.
But it all revolved around drugs.
Yeah.
It was all it was devil or not, it was drugs.
Yep. Drugs are the devil.
Yeah.
Fuck, I see that now. And
then we got the house sold, and guy helped you get another apartment at Meadows.
Yeah, at the Meadows. Yep. And that's exactly what I was going to get to. Like, and I wanted to quit. And what's a great thing in NA is like, you may want to get high, but you don't have to get high. And that's how I feel now. Like, in the past, it's like I had to get high. I just couldn't stand sobriety or living that way. I think it took a good this year, this environment. Oh, she's shitting.
Oh, Bella, no. Get out. Come on.
My mom's dog is shitting. Here, I can't get up and clean it up. Fuck. Anyways, what was I getting to? I had PTSD pretty bad. And April and May, my mom came and stayed with me. And there wasn't a night that I slept. And if I did sleep, it was like for only 3-4 hours at a time. It was so bad that I would actually ask my mom to go buy me beer. And I would pour it down my feeding tube just to knock me out and go to sleep, you know. A lot of fucking destruction. But I was at the Meadows, and as soon as I moved in there, my brother was telling me to pick up my apartment, and then my homie just said, all he needs to do is pop a couple Adderalls or smoke a globe or a bulb, you know. And I'm like, dude, you're telling my brother that to get high. And turns out in the Meadows, dude, it's pretty fucking popular with dope. Actually, in the entire city of Clinton, there's like really barely any escape from it anywhere. It's in all hoods and shit. It's pretty fucking sad. Are you gonna have to watch that?
I think you can pause that.
All right, I'm gonna pause it.
Just pause it, because.
And if